What is up? Happy Monday. Chaos, craziness, and all the usual insanity we're going to get to tonight. And appreciate everybody joining. If you're new to the program, God bless you. Make sure you check out our morning show, which also is our afternoon show, which is live on the radio world. You can follow us, go to my website, go to chepbensonshow.com, find out where I'm playing live across the country from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific, 9 to noon on the East Coast. And grab the podcast as well. Where do we start? There's so many places to start with this insanity. Trolling or not trolling, it doesn't matter. It can't happen. I think it's ridiculous that anybody would bring it up and say that it could happen, which, of course, is a third term for Trump. That's a hard no for me. I've said this over and over again. You got to do better. You got to be better. And the fact that you would even float this, even for the troll aspect of it, is ridiculous. And the fact that the press would even run with it shows you both how ridiculous you guys can both be, because they soak it up, eat it up, and love it up. Trump was asked about, could you run for a third term? Again, no, double no, not going to happen. Just pointing that out.
About a third term, about possibly wanting a third term. Does that mean you're not planning to leave office on January 20th?
I'm not looking at that, but I'll tell you, I have had more people ask me to have a third term, which is in a way a fourth term, because the other election, the 2020 election, was totally rigged. So it's actually sort of a fourth term in a certain way. I just don't want the credit for the second, because Biden was so bad. He did such a bad job. And I'm just telling you, I have had more people say, please run again. They said, we have a long way to go before we even think about that. But I've had a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you think that's an appropriate precedent to set, even if it wasn't you in this position, to see a president serve a third term?
I don't want to talk about a third term now, because no matter how you look at it, we got a long time to go. We have a long time. You know, we have almost 4 years to go. And that's a long time. But despite that, so many people are saying, you've got to run again. They love the job we're doing. Most importantly, they love the job we're doing.
So you said you were on 70.
No, hard no. Super double, triple, no chance in hell. I said it earlier on my show, and I'll say it here. I'll do everything I can to make sure that I support whoever runs against you, the Republican Party. There's no way. Can't happen. Not going to happen. That's the beauty of it. It's a troll. It isn't going to happen. The fact that you bring it up, though, is crazy. And yes, it makes the liberals go crazy, which is a lot of what you're going for, but it's insane. And I will say, even today, my local show out here in Nashville, as I'm doing it, there are people that are mad at me because I say, how dare I say something like that? He deserves another shot after what happened in 2020. Get over it. You've got this now. Work with what you got now. You did 2 terms. That's what you get. You freaking move on. The thought that you would even think about, well, no, double effing no chance in hell. No. And the way that people are like, well, if J.D. Vance runs and he's vice president, no, that doesn't work that way. You have to be eligible to be president. You're not eligible anymore to be president. It's that simple. Well, a constitutional, never going to happen. We can't get the states to get anywhere near a constitutional amendment. Isn't going to happen. So the big no isn't going to happen. Well, what if it's consecutive? No. What was the one I heard today too? There was another one that, somebody's ape shit crazy about, like, if we make him Speaker of the House and then we do this, and this, and then, like, if I'm JD Vance, you're like, so wait, I just want to get this right. You want me to run for president, then become president, then give up my presidency? No. Hard no. Double effing no. And what's to make you think if he gets there, he's going to be like, you know what? I've had a second thought, and F you. And if you don't like that, I don't care, because I'm the president. I'm the captain now, is what I'm saying. We move on to somebody who would love to be president. It was on with Bill Maher the other night, and trying everything he can to make the world
These
forget
guys
that
are
he
crushing
is
us.
who he is.
The Democratic brand is toxic right now. We had a high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not take cheap shots. I'm not looking to put a spoke in the wheel of their, or at least a crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be. This notion of cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that.
They definitely need to own up to it. Cancel culture is stupid. A lot of that crap is stupid, and you're not fooling anybody. You know, somebody asked me today, is he the leader? He wants to be, but no, it isn't going to happen. A lot would have to happen. The good news is he'll be gone and he'll have a couple years in between. But California is a disaster and a mess, and he talked about what kind of mess and disaster it is, and he wants to try to get himself into a position where he can get away from that. And it's like, that wasn't me. No, that was absolutely you, right? You know, between the Latinx stuff that you lied about the other day to all the stuff you've done with the French Laundry and all that other, it's just, no, it isn't. Now, here's the thing. He's really good at being a politician. He's a smart guy, but people see through it, right? You want it so bad. You crave it so bad. You're willing. You go Eddie Haskell on it because that's what he reminds me of. If Christian Bale and Eddie Haskell had a baby, it's that guy. And nobody buys it. Yes, I like the fact that you're talking to other people. Yes, I like the fact that we're having conversations that we don't have. But you're not doing it because you're really interested in what the right thinks or MAGA thinks. You're doing it because you're trying to go, all right, here's the deal. Tell me why you guys are so popular. Tell me why you guys won. Tell me why I should listen to anything you guys have to say. Tell me what I can get from you that I can take to other people and use it. Tell me that. We'll go from there. That's why he's doing it. And everybody sees through it. The right sees through it. The left sees through it. Not that they've got many better things going on out there, but they recognize the bullshit that is bullshit. And that's exactly what it is. Absolutely. We move from there to Chaperone. You don't know who Chaperone is? Singer, I guess entertainer. Talking about kids. Parents, parenthood. Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? Good, bad, bad, good, good, good. You tell me. Not a fan of the Parenthood,
All
apparently.
All of my friends who have
thinks
kids
it's
are in
bad.
hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
No, look. It's funny because NBC comes out and they have this. Chaperone says she doesn't know any happy parents. Is she wrong? ? No, probably not. She's 27. Parenthood is not the... Parenthood gives you meaning. Parenthood gives you something that you don't have. Responsibility. Parenthood gives you a lot of things that you don't have. Is happiness necessarily it? No. But I find that if it does give you something that makes you a little wholer. It does do something to you that makes you, it just gives you something else that you don't have. I'm a late parent. I'll tell you that right now. I am absolutely a late parent in this world. I didn't have my son Jack, who's out here visiting me, till I was 40. Charlie, who is the other light of my life, I did not have, and by me, I didn't have anybody, but Charlie didn't come into my life until my wife and I, I was 46, 47. I was much older. And you know what? I love every second of it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And yeah, if I would have had a kid at 21, 22, 25, would I be saying the same thing? No, probably not. But it brings me something else. Yes, as they talk about, they go through this thing with moms. Moms are exhausted. One person says, yes, finally somebody speaking my language. 49-year-old mom of grown children. You're not wrong, girl. Being a mom in this country is rough. I feel this in my soul. There's a lot of that, but there's also a lot of parents out there who love what they do, even as a young parent. It is exhausting. A lot of things are exhausting. There is. But there is no doubt that, what she said, it didn't. People say it caused controversy. It shouldn't cause controversy. You should just be honest. Being a parent is tough. Being a parent anywhere is tough. Being a parent here is tough. Raising kids is tough. Being a father is tough. Being in charge of a human being, where it's like you're fighting a drunk pirate all the time, hoping it doesn't kill itself, whereas it runs around and does insane things. And at the same time, as you teach it to grow and become more independent, it's an amazing thing. And yet you feel like you missed something. I love being a parent. I was talking to my wife about this earlier. She's like, I love being a mom, but it ain't easy. That's for damn sure. It isn't. It isn't easy. And it is exhausting at times, but fulfilling and rewarding in a different way. So, no, I don't think she's wrong in that sense, especially if you're a younger parent. But at the same time, did you ask him, do they have a reward? As far as, are they feeling like they've got something that's a little bit more whole in their life than just partying and doing all that kind of stuff? Do they feel like that they've got something that maybe was missing? Because we're always looking for, quote, especially younger generation, I'm always looking for happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be happy all the time. So what about happy? What about the other things besides just being happy? And there are plenty of them out there, including the fact that you're contributing to society, considering we don't have children anymore. It's really important that maybe we focus a little bit on that, because Elon's running out.
All my friends who have kids are in hell.
Of peeps, if you know what I mean. Oh, settle down there. We move on from this to ACLU. It's Trans Visibility Day. Is that what it is? And I bring this up because of the insanity that is going on there in the trans world. And I'm not saying this like, if you're trans, knock yourself out. I don't give a rat's ass. Good for you. Great. Whatever. As long as you're not pushing it on kids, I don't give a rat's ass. But here's what I don't want. Stop blowing smoke up everybody's ass and saying that all things are equal. This is a lawyer from the ACLU talking about trans men who identify as women, who are now, I guess, trans women I'm confused. I'm doing my best, trying to be as respectful as possible without going, God, really give it a rest. In sports. Let's just be honest. Just be honest. It's not the same. And I know you come out here and say that all women are women and blah, blah, blah. It's not the same
that are
when you get to sports.
Claiming that transgender women in sports are men are wrong. The president is lying when he says that there are men impersonating women and participating in women's sports. There are no examples of men impersonating women that I am aware of. And it is incorrect to refer to transgender women and girls as men and boys. And what these executive orders do, what these laws do, is open the door to sex-based police.
So, there is. Okay. The minute you're in a locker room, and I have daughters, son, and I have daughters. The minute my 14-year-old stepdaughter's in a locker room with a person with a DAC, that's a dude. Okay. That's what it is. So my son's 14 and my stepdaughter's 14. My son would crush her soul if they played any sports. Crush her soul. Absolutely obliterate her. It's nature. It's what it is. And it's not that we shouldn't have empathy, and it's not we shouldn't care about people. I'm not going to be one of these people that sits there and hammers on it. It's easy to make fun of. It's easy to do this. But here's the reality. No, it's not the same. It isn't the same. And if you want to talk about, men playing in women's sports, if we're really that concerned about it, and there is no advantage whatsoever, fine, great. Let's get rid of women's sports altogether. We'll just have sports, and we'll see how that plays itself out. I'm telling you right now, ask the women who are professionals how they would feel about just sports. Ask the women who play in the WNBA, hey, guess what? We're having open training, and the best 14 are on the team. That's it. There's nobody else. Find out how many make it. Find out how many. We got rid of softball. We're just playing baseball now. Let's do it. There is no World Cup for women and World Cup for men. It's just the World Cup. And there's no quota. So you shouldn't be allowed to be forced to have a woman on your team if you don't want one. Find out what happens. Because there is a difference. And the reason is simple. It's nature. Men are bigger, faster, stronger, period. Okay? That's like a bear is bigger, faster, stronger than me. That's it, right? Like I can identify as a bear all day long. Guess what the bear's going to say? You're not a bear. Never been a bear. And I'm going to eat you. So let's just be honest about that. Even for a moment, if we possibly could. And finally, to our person who's giving all the trans folk the love they need today. Ladies and gentlemen,
I truly think that trans women are the best of us. The best of us. And not only do I not think that they take anything away from my experience as a cis woman, I think that they are actually one of the purest forms of womanhood and highlight some of the most beautiful parts of womanhood. Because what do you mean that in our patriarchal society, you are going to throw away all of the privilege that you have as someone that was born a man and choose girlhood, even when it means you have a life expectancy of 40 and you instantly become the most at-risk woman in your society? Like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. How does any woman see someone fighting that hard to be one of us and your gut reaction is to call them a man? No, babe, they're more woman than you will ever be.
There you go, ladies. More woman than you will ever be. Don't mind that cock over there. You will never be the woman that dude is. So insane. This is why Trump. This is why the insanity continues. Somewhere along the line, we've lost the plot where we can have a normal conversation as normal people about real stuff without somebody freaking out and saying, you've microaggressed me or you've said something that hurts my feelings. Let's just be honest. Too much insanity in one area. I think we need to take a deep breath and try to find some common sense. Follow along across all my social media. At Chad Benson Show is your X, your Instagram, your Facebook, and the YouTube. Like and subscribe. And again, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific, 9 to noon East Coast. That is the radio show. So check out where we're playing in your neck of the woods, including you can go to chadbensonshow.com, grab the podcast, find out where we're playing in your neck of the woods, and stream us live. You guys have a blessed rest of your night. We'll do it again tomorrow. Got a special guest tomorrow, so be prepared for that. That should be a lot of fun. We'll